Would like to call to order the meeting of the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee. It is 6:32 p.m. And come on in. Come on in. So first item on the agenda is to review and act on the minutes of April 8th. If anybody has any questions about that? If everyone agrees, I just need a motion to approve.
I don't know if I'm allowed to because I wasn't at the meeting.
But you reviewed
I
you
reviewed the
them.
minutes. I watched the meeting video.
Yeah.
Okay, I motion to approve the minutes of April 8th.
Second that motion.
All right. Okay. Everyone in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
So the meeting minutes are approved. So we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is planning for the Multicultural Festival for fall 2024. So Taylor had reached out because last year the Senior Center put on the Multicultural Festival, and they said that they're planning some other events, and so they really don't have the bandwidth to handle the Multicultural Festival. And so she was wondering if that's something that we would be interested in doing, and hosting that event. And then it would seem like this would be, sort of like an ongoing sort of yearly event that we would plan for in the fall. What do you guys think?
I think we should go for that. Last time, senior centers took the responsibility, but it was kind of off and on, right? But this is like our identity of this committee. So this, I think we should go for that.
Yeah, I hesitate to say yes only because my term is up in June, so I don't want to be like, yeah, we should do it, and then not be here to be like, yeah, the one that said we should do it isn't even here. But I would definitely volunteer as an outside town member volunteering to help with that. I just know that because of essentially because of school next year potentially being a full-time student again, I'm not going to actually have the bandwidth to apply to stay on the committee. But I definitely want to stay involved in stuff as a member of the town.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think that if we all feel that we could do that and then get because we're starting to build a list of volunteers and people that want to help us do events so that we can not just be 7 people doing a giant festival all by ourselves anymore. So I think that would make sense.
Okay. Any other opinions?
So just for me, I kind of hesitate to say yes just because two things. I don't know everything that it entails with the planning, and then 2, that's a really busy time of year for a lot of us.
Yeah.
We have small children, and we're a small team. And yes, we can do, have volunteers, but we are the core members of the team. And then we would have just come from planning Juneteenth, Pride, runs into the fall. So there's all of these subsequent activities, and it's really busy.
Right.
So that's the only thing.
Yeah. And then when we think about the fall, I think that the Multicultural Festival happened sort of around the same time that Spirit of Shrewsbury is happening.
Yes.
So I feel like
And
there
then we
are
have
some
to-
really big events already happening.
Yeah.
So I think what we could do is, we don't have to, take it completely off the table right now. Maybe we could put it aside and just figure out maybe the fall may not be the right time.
Yeah.
Maybe, another time of year could be. And
Yeah.
I know one of the reasons that the Senior Center decided not to do the Multicultural Festival is that they said there was a lot of planning involved, and they wanted to focus on an event that they're planning, and it's just, takes a lot of planning, right? To
Yeah,
put all of these
a lot.
events together. And
Yeah.
so they wanted to kind of focus more on the other event that they were doing. And so I think I think it's nice to think about maybe continuing it, but I think we could table it for now and
Yeah.
come back to it. Also, Bindu helped with the planning for the Multicultural Festival, so it'd be nice to hear,
I agree.
thinks,
I agree.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
So-
put on the back burner and see.
all right.
Actually, one of the
Yeah.
things that I could see is tying it in as our contribution to the 300th anniversary of the town.
Mhm.
So that gives us time to build it up
Yeah,
and to do it intentionally with being able to give some stories about what is the history of multiculturalism within our community, and actually have a bit of a topical focus that leans towards how we can be part of the 300th anniversary here, and that gives us time to build up to it as well.
yeah,
I like
that's
that.
great.
When
That's
is
great.
that? When is the 300th anniversary?
300th is coming up in 2 years, so we could still do something small in between, but with the goal of this is what we're working towards, is to have that be a stronger event.
Oh, I like that.
And that might also help with some volunteers who were drawn
Yeah.
in to participate in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that they had asked for us to be involved in the 300th anniversary celebration as well. So I think that's a really nice, intentional way to go about it. So I think that's a great idea. So
Yeah.
we'll put it on the back burner for now, and we'll come back
Yep.
to revisit what it will look like.
Okay. Yep, that's a great idea.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to move on to old business, and we're going to review and discuss the logo contest voting. Any update on that, Freddie?
I haven't received an email recently about that. That being said, my inbox is full of a lot of spam stuff right now and other job application related things, so I do need to do a more thorough sweep of that to see if there's something actually important that I missed. But I haven't heard anything. I think Bindu was more of the point person on that, because I was getting a bit like, I can't do both that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Pride stuff, and
Sure.
so
Do you
yeah.
do you just remember the date?
the
that
date
it
was
got moved to?
the 30th of May was there is the 30th of May.
Okay.
Sorry. The 30th of May was when I think it was the deadline.
Okay.
Um,
So we should have an update for our next meeting.
yeah,
Yeah.
because by the end of May it will
Okay.
have closed.
So beside date, any other thing we have changed for the logo contest? Have we opened to the other town
So
or
I think no. I think that the goal was to get someone from the town of Shrewsbury.
Okay.
But that was the
That's
last
the only we
conversation
did.
that I
Okay.
understood, yes.
Okay.
All right, so, and I forgot to reach out to Bindu also, just to see if she had anything new, and so I apologize for that, but I think we can have more info for the next meeting. All right, so review and discuss planning. I'm going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is review and discuss planning for Juneteenth 2024.
Yeah, so we have one confirmed food truck that is Black-owned out of a possible 3. It's been a journey to try to track down available participants. I think the struggle is a lot of people are like the Boston area, and it's a distance. A lot of people who were interested, so it's like driving all the way here, but they have the food truck that's active and a lot of events going on. We're competing with a lot of events going on at the same time in Boston.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a really big challenge that I'm finding. I am going to have a meeting this Wednesday with Carly, from Shrewsbury Parks and Rec. So we're going to try to wrap things up and just kind of finalize on vendor. And even if it's one, they'll fill the rest with other food trucks who are interested, which is fine. And then, so the next phase of the planning, we should talk about, it will be just getting interested parties, people who can come and talk about the history of Juneteenth and who can maybe do some performance art. So this week I will be looking for those, performers, poetry, somebody who can display artwork. And I am going to reach out to a couple more vendors because we can have as many pretty tables, people coming to sell things as possible. So they're encouraging that and reserving spaces for us. There will be other vendors there, but they are reserving some vendors space for us to have vendors. So I'm still looking for people who would come and set up their table. They would just have to come bring everything, a 10 by 10 tent table, everything they're going to supply themselves. I have someone who is interested in selling lotions. I have somebody who's interested in selling like hot sauces and salsas, homemade, but she's licensed. So those are the two that I'm working with now. But I still have yet to confirm. So I think the subcommittee, I'll reach out to the subcommittee of Juneteenth outside of this meeting. Once I speak with Carrie, maybe by next week, so we can kind of get together, see how far I am with getting vendors. But I think we have to cut off the food truck search, really the end of this week, because they need to know how many people, and they plan ahead for those things. So, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that I've been not as responsive on my emails because I feel like I'm
you're fine.
going through
I know. No, you're fine.
Oh my gosh.
I'll.
But I'm reading all the emails.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
So I'll text. If I need you to be on something, I'll call you, text you. No,
Okay.
it's fine. Yeah.
Awesome. But it sounds great that it's coming together.
Yeah, it's
So that's
coming
really
together. So even if we have one, it's something.
It's something.
It's
yeah.
better than not having it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's exciting.
And once they've been inspected and approved, so we have the Caribbean Express, I think it's called, the food truck, and they've been cleared and approved. So once they've been inspected, approved, and they follow the process, they're good for the whole year. So they can keep coming back in the summer, which is amazing.
That's great for
Yeah,
them.
and I think that's a great exposure. And so just finding more of that is going to be the goal.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
yeah.
So same thing applies for the other vendors too, inspection and approval?
Yes, yeah, everybody has to be inspected. So once you get inspected, you get on they have a good green light list, and I think they inspect you until the end of the year,
Right.
and you have to keep renewing. So once you get on that list, you're good to go. They have another food truck vendor that they just approved. It was a diverse food truck. I forget the name now, but he is not available on that June 20th. He would have been available on actual Juneteenth, which is the 19th,
Yeah.
but he's not available on that day. So I'm like, oh man, but yeah, the
Maybe
search
next year,
continues.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's a great thing. So once we kind of nail some people down, we can plan ahead from January and say, hey, get ready for Juneteenth next year. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so we're getting somewhere with
That's
it.
nice, right? Remember, because we talked about this last year.
Yeah.
And it was too. It wasn't
Close.
enough
It
time.
wasn't
to
enough
get it
time.
to get it
Yeah.
done.
Started the idea for it in April last year.
I know, it was
we were
too
just
close.
like, oh wait,
Yeah.
so what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's nice to see it coming together for this
Yeah.
year. And thank you for all your hard work on that.
Oh, of course.
All right, I'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is to review and discuss Pride event 2024. So we have reserved the park. We have reserved the ice cream truck,
Nice.
and Taylor was going to order the supplies for the activity.
Budget got
Yeah, we
I was very nervous that because I really didn't want to be the one being like, okay, we need this many balloons. Is everyone okay with the fact that I said this number of this cup? Because I was I don't get to make that decision by myself.
Yeah, you can.
So I don't know if maybe I went a little bit crazy on how many decorations, but also Pride is a celebration, and that's the more important aspect of it for me, at least. And a lot of the rainbow things can be like specific, especially the foil balloons can be just like deflated, put away, and then when we do it in the future, we can be like, oh yeah, we have this one that's a giant rainbow. We'll just buy
Yeah.
helium to inflate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we can
Yeah.
we can
You
reuse
can-
them.
Reuse
You
it,
can
yeah.
reuse the
Oh.
foil balloons for like a few.
I did
I don't
not
know how many
that.
times.
Wow.
But
We can
That's
reuse
good
it.
to know for birthday parties, just
Right?
yeah.
in general.
Just buy one that says happy birthday.
Exactly.
And
I
you do
just use it every
over
single-
right? Yeah.
Every single time.
I think the only thing we have to still do is call for the police detail.
Yeah.
And arrange that.
Yeah, I'm very bad on the phone, because I just am. And then the anticipation of like, oh, I have to make that phone call. Okay, now I'm thinking about it, and it's getting worse, and then I'll be, hi, like that's how all of my doctor's appointment, like everything I do is like that, and then
That's okay. So I can make the call.
yeah.
That's fine.
And just
Yeah, that's okay.
So we need to get like a police detail with a car, a
Yeah.
cruiser. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Because I
Um,
was
Yeah.
like, because if that's like, that's necessary because of the traffic stuff with the park, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah.
I just, like, one thing that, there's a common saying about Pride that is Pride started as a riot, therefore no cops at Pride. And I do understand, like, yes, the necessity of when you're having a public event in any town, anywhere, you do need that. I just don't want it to be, like, jarring, especially since we are a small event. But, like, if it's because of the traffic patterns or whatever, like, absolutely, I just did want to
Yeah.
bring that part up just as a, and, like, we're, yeah. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's like ice cream at the park. So I don't,
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna, I just didn't want to, like, not relay that information about, like, because there's also very much debate in the community about that as well, like, in lots of stuff about that. I don't
It's
really
good
have
awareness
a,
for
yeah,
us.
Yeah.
I don't really
Good to
have, like,
know.
a specific opinion, but I am also, like, I'm a white gay person, whereas a non-white gay person might have another, or a more visibly trans person might have another opinion, but, like, I just did think I wanted to just bring that to people's attention as just moving forward.
And we do have a volunteer for the event that wants to come and help us out with
Yeah.
the event on the day of. So I think that's nice too, to have more
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
involvement. So,
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
We are engaging the police for the help, the traffic.
Because the Parks and Rec
Mhm.
department, right? Because it's a special event,
Mhm.
they have certain rules that we
Right.
have to
Follow that.
follow. And so we had to put in like a special events request to
Rectify.
rent the pavilion
Mhm.
and then give it, and I think we said maybe 40 people
It would,
or around there.
between 30 and 40, hopefully.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
no more than 40
Might not
people are
even
going to
go
show
there,
up.
yeah.
No.
And then
I would be very surprised.
yeah,
Like,
That's at
I'd be
Dean Park.
pleased, but
Yeah.
at Dean Park, and it's on a Wednesday.
Wednesday,
From
okay.
like 4 to 7. But they suggested that we get
Cop.
the police detail with the cruiser,
Mhm.
just for traffic,
yeah.
in case
Park-
there's,
I mean,
if there's-
park-
Because Dean
Parking
Park is very
is
busy during the
really
summer
annoying.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
there's a lot
busy
of
during
other
the
stuff
summer.
happening.
And people just
Happening, a lot of
walking,
things, so we
when
need
there's
Right,
kids.
yeah.
Some sort of-
Yeah, it's
Yeah, games.
games,
right, all sorts of
baseball,
things.
everything's going on.
Fortunately, I live close
Yeah.
enough to walk when I really need to go to the park,
Oh, that's
so I don't
nice.
drive there much,
Yeah,
but
it's a beautiful walk. It's a
Yeah.
lovely
Yeah.
park.
So engaging the police, I just engaged the last month for not Polo Cop. We are our town thing, so we don't have to pay anything. There is nothing, right?
No, I mean, there is, like, the town will have to pay.
Town will have to pay.
Yeah, but Taylor's working out the details for
Yeah,
that
because
part
that
of
was
it.
written into the budget.
Yeah.
for-
They charge $56 per hour a minimum 4 hours engagement.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and if you book it for, so for example, we are from 4 to 7,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if we book them from like 4 to 8, from, after 8 p.m. or after 7 p.m.,
Double the charge.
it's more money.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I was like, okay, we'll schedule them from 3 to 7,
Yeah.
and that
Save
way
money.
we'll save some money.
Yeah.
Release 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
So-
5 minutes, they will charge for
Right.
8 hours.
That's
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah. But that also seems to be like, coming together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll make the call to schedule the police detail, and I think that's the only pending item aside from like the
Maybe
craft.
making a playlist on someone's, or like figuring out what songs, but like
Yeah.
I have a list of artists that are, and they're kid friendly. Like I did have to be like, okay, this song would be perfect, but it doesn't have a kid friendly like radio version, so I'm gonna cut that song.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it's just kind of Demi Lovato, Nickelodeon era JoJo Siwa, and other stuff like that. Like nothing was really on theme. It was just, oh well, this is a list of the LGBT artists I listened to as a kid. I don't really know who's popular now because I don't listen to music I don't know about music outside of, oh, Taylor Swift is there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna play video games now. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
but from stuff I remember from when I was a kid, when I did really do music stuff, like, I have songs and things.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. And, maybe people who are helping to volunteer have like other ideas or things
Yeah.
too. So we'll just kind of keep it open. And okay, so next item on the agenda is I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Is interview project for neighbor to neighbor. I think we just kept it on there just to kind of get
Yeah.
like a check in on
Mm-hmm.
how's it going and.
It's going.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about the last one?
We had a blast.
Yeah,
We
it
did
was
it
so good.
at the church, and my little baby boy was with me, so we
And I got
just
to hold him.
had him right there in the interview.
So cute. He was
and
part of it.
So it was very cool to
Yeah.
like see people, where they spend their time and energy, not just, because it was a mix of
Yep.
civic, personal, professional.
Yeah.
So it was really a joy to do.
Yeah. So I hope that one gets aired or streamed soon.
Yeah.
I know when I talked to Mark, we were looking more like putting one out per month.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that one will go out for the month of May.
Yeah.
And then we have people who are interested in interviewing.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one hopefully should be maybe in June or July if June
Mhm.
is too busy. So it's good.
Yeah.
It's going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
because like I was gonna email you my availability, but I also was like, because my availability is very in flux, especially depending. So I just wanted to know what like the general when it happens is, and then I can be more intentional about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm free from this time to this time on this day for
Yeah.
stuff. Because
Mhm.
because I did want to maybe try that.
Yeah, so the great thing about it is it's very flexible.
Yeah.
Mark is really open, I would say like office hours. Even after that, he can be open during the weekday for
Mhm.
whenever we need him if we plan ahead.
Yeah.
And we're flexible on where in Shrewsbury he can meet us. So we can meet at Dean Park. We can
Yeah.
meet at, typically we meet at the studio,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
is, where Parker Road is?
Mhm.
The road leading to, like that back road, you can take North Quinsigamon,
Quinsigamon.
right? And then
Yeah.
you make
Parker
that.
School.
Yeah, the Parker
Mhm.
School. You can just do
Kinda
this,
like.
yeah. You know where Whole Foods is?
Yes, I know where Whole Foods
It's kind
is.
of like the back
Near-
road behind.
Yes.
Back there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can get there, and I can.
Yeah.
And GPS can get you anywhere nowadays
Exactly.
too.
Yeah. So very convenient. So yeah, take your time. There's no rush. There's no
Okay.
time limit. There's no protocol. It's
Okay.
just, and the only thing is we typically do the shoots between like 15 minutes and no more than 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's perfect. So-
Yeah.
And just asking general questions about you, conversation. You can even say, this is what I want the questions to be if you want to do that.
Mhm.
So it's nothing,
Yeah.
rigid at
Okay.
all. So,
Because I saw the one where you interviewed Cynthia and Bindu.
yeah. And we
and
were
I
just
was-
kind of
that-
going
that
with the
was-
flow. And that was, yeah.
Because I was just in my head answering some of the questions. I'm like, wait a second. How do I even answer why I moved to Shrewsbury? I was a baby. Or how long I don't know how to think about these because I've just lived here since I was
Yeah.
3.
So we can
So it was just very
totally-
interesting.
Yeah, so you can guide it. You can be the one to say, hey, this is what I want to talk about, and we can go off of that. It's really anything to make comfortable conversations happen.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. And you'll be so surprised what we just end up saying and talking about in like 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes. So
Yeah.
So anytime, there's
Okay.
no pressure, no
Okay.
rush. And if you don't want to do it,
Yeah.
if you should
Yeah.
say, I don't want to do it, then that's fine too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do want to. I wait till I find out where my retail job is going to be, and then I'll figure out when I'm available for things.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, no pressure.
All right, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a debrief from the April forum that we did at the library.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it was nice. We didn't
Yeah.
have a huge crowd. I think we had a
3.
couple of 2-3 people that showed up, and then some people that knew
friends, yeah.
some of Freddie's
Is it-
friends
Nice.
came by.
Essentially just sent the thing to like my 2 high school friends that still live in Shrewsbury, and then my friends from Krav that also live in Shrewsbury, and was like, hey, if you're able to make it to this, that would be great. And my high school friends had just gotten their tonsils out and got into a car accident, so they could, not like a bad one or anything, it was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it that day, I don't have a car right now type thing, like, but it was, I mean, if we're debriefing about it, like, I feel like maybe we could have not like packed the agenda more, but maybe had more of a, like, us discussing prior to like what we wanted to discuss, because it got like a little bit not tangenty. It was a good conversation, but like it wasn't, I felt like I wasn't able to like bring it back to like the point at some parts of it. So, but then I realized like that's because I didn't understand the point, but hadn't discussed prior with Cynthia or Bindu or Holly, like, hey, what are we trying, like, what's the goal, what's the general, like, what are we wanting to talk about, like, in advance? So I think for future stuff like that, we might want to flesh out the agenda a bit more.
Yeah, I think the goal or the hope was that people were going to come to the meeting and kind of talk to us about what they felt like they would want to see us doing.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of left it more open to just
Yeah.
hear from other people.
Yeah.
One of the people that went was on the task force, the DEIB task force. I can't remember her name right now,
Oh, okay.
but she's I think she's running for librarian trustee, and she's a city
Something like the housing
member.
stuff.
What is it? Like a member?
Oh, town meeting member.
Town meeting member, yes.
Yeah.
But she came by and she was almost like checking in with us to see how, how it was coming together. And so it was nice to hear her perspective of it, from being on the task force to seeing it kind of become the committee now. Another person who showed up came because she watched the episode of Neighbor to Neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And so she just,
That is really good.
yeah,
New to town.
she's new to town. She just moved here, and she was like, I'm going to try to make some friends.
Oh.
And so
What
she
this
came
town
by. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it was already,
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
working.
was really nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Just need one. Just need to touch one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I love that.
I don't think we had a ton of ideas in terms of like setting a fall agenda. But we also, we do still have a lot of events
Yeah.
to think about in the fall,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like the Spirit of Shrewsbury and stuff like that. So I think we can
Yeah.
still, come away with something.
I have like vague ideas for like potential events, but like I said, also like I'm not still I'm gonna be back as a full-time student in the fall, so like, but I do have like, well, because I made a list of like alternative to Pride in June ideas in case that didn't work out, and then one of them that was like, that actually could still be an option for future years, like it was because October is LGBTQ History Month, so like doing less of a pride celebration and more of a like some kind of educational something about LGBTQ history, but that can be back burner or like just as an idea, because I was just that could be a good idea, better than, oh yeah, we're gonna do our pride event at the park in October, because everyone wants to be at the park in October. But yeah, like, I don't know, it made me, like, the fact that more than just us showed up made me feel hopeful and
Yeah,
happy.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
that's good.
Nice.
That's good.
Are we making any publicity for these kind of table forums in advance?
We did. So we put it on the community forum. Taylor had made like a Facebook invite for the event. And so we kind of spread the word a little bit better, but I think that's also one of the things that we could like work on is how do we spread the
More
news
engagement.
about
More
like these
engagement.
events,
Yeah.
Like, one thing I noticed about that is I went to Facebook to find the event and I shared it to my Facebook, but not to be Facebook is dead or whatever, because I still use Facebook a little bit, but I then went to the Town of Shrewsbury Instagram account to see, can I share it to my Instagram account, because I know people from Shrewsbury on Instagram as well, and then there was just, it was never updated there. And so it was just like, just thinking about intentionality about like where we post the flyers for these things, what social media, because it wouldn't have made sense for me to just be like, hey guys, there's a thing, but not have it actually associated with the town account or something.
Yeah.
So
like you wanted to share it from the official
official
page.
account instead of
Agreed.
From the
Yeah.
Yeah,
town,
because
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could talk to Taylor about it. She,
Yeah.
so she, like, I don't know who controls the
Yeah.
social media accounts,
Yeah.
but then it's easy, to create an event in one place and then just
Yeah.
publish it.
Just
both
publish
and
it.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so-
No, that's a good point.
But we
Yeah.
can definitely, all right. Next item on the agenda is the senior center paper submissions. So I did send in the submission because they're due by the 10th of the month, and I just basically repeated our last,
Good. Perfect.
entry that was like, hey, we're here, we have events in June, and it was, so if anybody would like to take over for the next month's submission, that would be really welcomed. But let me know. We don't have to decide now.
I can do it.
Yes? Okay. All right.
you.
So that one will be for the month of July, basically.
So by June 10th.
So by June 10th,
Okay.
yeah, we have to send it in. And there's a folder that Taylor created where we can keep all the submissions.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
I can do the next one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we'll do Holly and then Adiola after that.
Yep.
All right, for July 10th.
Mhm.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the article on the community advocate. And Evan Walsh wrote the first article about has been kind of writing articles about the DEIB committee. And so we did get in touch with him to do like a follow-up. And so he is here tonight. Do you want to come up? Do you have anything to?
I have nothing to add except, I spoke to Cynthia about ago, got some great quotes, great information about the committee, and I'm here to take a picture today, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, I hope you all have, you were all expecting it, is that
Oh my gosh.
right? Okay.
Well, I had sent out an email. Taylor did send it out, so I think.
You can always do it another time if that's easier for you, but,
We could, I
if
mean,
you
we're
could
We'll do
put a
it.
photo in front of the, the big.
Logo.
The big seal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Do we
sounds
have to
good.
stand up or?
I think standing up would look best.
Okay.
Don't worry, this table.
You can kind of
Okay.
do 2 rows if you want, if that's
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want
Do
to,
you,
is that
Yeah.
now okay?
let's see, I think so,
Yeah,
right?
we almost
I
did.
think we can, yeah, I feel bad because I should have like called you up and gotten you, like not waited until we're like on item G of the agenda. But I think we can do it now, right?
Yeah, should we close out the agenda? Like, do we have anything else after?
Yeah.
I can wait until the end if that's.
Yeah.
Okay, I
We're
think
filming.
the next I know. Oh, I forgot about that. All right, so the next item is just the light up the common we had talked about, and I think Holly said that.
Yeah, I'll take care of that over the
Okay,
summer.
all right,
Yeah.
that sounds good. All right, so I'm just gonna put we'll check back.
Yeah.
All right, and so the next is just the next month's agenda. Is there anything anything new that you guys want to talk about, or anything we haven't talked about?
So Juneteenth will definitely, and Pride will
Pride,
definitely,
yeah.
it wouldn't have happened yet, so we
Yeah.
should.
No, because our next meeting will happen before both events.
Okay.
So we
Yeah.
still have the June
Yep.
meeting to
Perfect, to talk about.
talk about.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, and wrap it up if there are any other loose details that we have to.
Mhm.
I think we should probably build a checklist for our publicity, which is
Yeah.
something that came up before. but
Yeah.
If we make an intentional agenda item, we could just, pop
Yeah.
together a nice, here's our publicity checklist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would probably be better to start advertising before our June meeting, right? Because
Yeah.
then we only have
Yep.
like a couple of weeks until
Yep.
the event. So maybe I can send out the community bulletin again for both events
Mhm.
for the month of June.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can ask Taylor to do the Facebook events
And
and
Instagram.
share to both Instagram and
Yep.
Facebook.
If that-
Yep.
Yeah, because I don't want it to become too complicated for that. I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then any other suggestions about how else do people advertise?
like,
Yeah, I feel like social media can
Is kind of
get,
the place to go,
yeah.
right? That's the
and then because I wouldn't want to print out a bunch of papers, physical papers, just to leave
yeah.
all over, just in case someone sees it.
Right.
Because then you've printed a bunch of paper.
Right.
Library could be the one place where we can put the.
And I think the dates will they come out in the article, Evan, before the event?
It's, I'll still have to talk to the editor, but
Yeah.
it's my intention that
Mhm.
we'll have the article out well before Juneteenth, the Pride event, and so.
Perfect.
Great.
That's
great.
Yeah.
So it'll be on the community advocate.
question. The police station has that
Notice board kind of.
notice
Okay.
board.
Okay.
Library has.
Could we, and the library
The
has
library,
one. Can
okay,
we
so
utilize
library.
those? Yeah.
And also the,
Our town hall also has.
in front of the old Beal is the physical board.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's ask Taylor how we can get
All
on
of these
those-
places.
all of these
Yeah,
places.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
And then another thing I would suggest for future stuff, because it seems like we're starting to plan fall, and then maybe so at Spirit of Shrewsbury table, if we have materials or stuff, not materials from the old events, but if we make not a flyer about when, but hey, last year we did a Juneteenth event and we want to do one in 2025. Hey, Spirit of Shrewsbury, this is just make a different QR code to our website, but have it not list necessarily. I don't know, maybe it should list just we did this last year. there's the QR code in the corner,
Yeah.
like just something, and then we have that at almost every single event that we do. We just have the, hey, if you're looking for what our next thing is or stuff,
There it
here's,
is. Here's
yeah.
the QR code.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
good
that's a
idea.
really good idea.
Yeah.
Because I still have, there was the QR code that we had at Multicultural Festival, and I had taken a few to give to some of my friends that I lost in a bag and found them the other day and was like, oh, this, right, we should make sure, because like the next time we do a community forum, even like we should have just those available for people to take pictures of or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yep.
I would-
Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing for next month will be rotation of committee members. So Kubra would be going off, and Freddie,
Yeah.
you're going off.
yeah.
And I don't know the timing for who's coming on, but, you know. a little
Yeah.
bit
How
of-
that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'll have to
It's
check
like-
with Beth. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if
either.
like if I need to like not train, then I genuinely don't know if I would need to like talk to something or come to the meeting after, because I was in part of the Pride event. So if we do a debrief of that, would I need to be here, or like I definitely can and will if I need to. I just like
I think you would absolutely be welcome to.
yeah, no, I
Definitely.
But then
like-
any orientation to new members would be
yeah.
our responsibility.
yeah.
Yeah,
no.
that makes sense.
I just
Yeah.
because like I can do, and if there's needs a transition period or something, like I can do stuff until September, and then I'm
For school.
maybe
Yeah.
a full-time
Yeah.
student again, depending on my transcript. But
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay.
yeah,
So no other items to add, or just we're gonna keep. Yeah.
Really quick, we should talk about our email. I know that's on Taylor's
Oh,
Yes.
radar, but just to
Yes.
keep bringing it up, maybe,
Yes.
because I know the town, she's waiting on the town,
So
but
they're rolling out emails town-wide for all the committees, and so it's just, we're in line,
yeah,
and so
yeah. But
eventually.
let's put it on the
Yeah,
agenda.
yeah,
to,
we can
like,
ask, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so ask
they're
about the
watching,
email.
We're putting pressure.
You're like, where's our email?
Because it will help our cause.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So then, if everyone's okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Everybody in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 7:15.
Yay. Efficient.